Hello and welcome back to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. And on our last episode, we were dealing with part 1 of chapter 2, The Fire Witch. And now we are going to deal with the second half of the trial of the Fire Witch. Not so much for a fun evening at home. The knights came and crashed our party. They were shouting all about a witch and a witch trial.
Talk about coming out of left field. They arrested Isabella and dragged her to the courthouse on suspicion of being on one of the witches they mentioned. And if she's found guilty, they'll only throw her into a pit of fire. They're joking, right?
Well then, we will now continue with the trial of Isabella Cantabella.
Oh boy.
A group of witnesses huddling up before a joint testimony in a witch trial. You can't make this stuff up. Inquisitor Bottom, may I ask you a question? Yes, my lord. We now have 5 witnesses on stand, so I must ask. Why was this obnoxious-looking man left out of your initial group of witnesses? Come up here, dog. Come up here. Thank you.
No, he's right, Bottom. That's just cold-blooded.
There's but one reason, my lord. I did not know this witness even existed. You, sir, failed to come forward. When we were asking for witnesses for this very trial, you were nowhere to be seen.
That's cause all they get people about it. All I use around and not except for maybe at Rouge Tavern.
So you basically told us that you were up all night drinking.
Anyway, it's all water under the bridge now, as far as I'm concerned. Just the rest of yours truly.
During the last interrogation, the defendant brought forth some surprising proof. Namely, that there was little possibility the accused could have used magic. I've never heard such claim. It must be the doing of this lordship.
What robbers? What tit are you saying? I ain't got a clue what that is. But I do know that this bread baker, I add that to the bakery.
Eloquently said. I can't say eloquent. Eloquently slipped. Yeah. I know I can read this. Eloquently said.
Oi, Grabs! Give me my partners over here, just speak. You all know how this witch managed to be over that scepter, don't you?
Oh! When you said Grabs, you wouldn't mean me, would you?
I failed to see anyone meeting Sergeant.
I know I can read this, I swear.
I failed to see anyone else meeting such a description. We'll show you she's a witch. That snow is beautiful white coat on it.
On guard!
Alright, team, let's do this. Witnesses!
What? Are you serious? Sir, you are not. Monstrum Sentai Auto Ranger. I'm sorry.
Yes, well, let us proceed with the testimonies.
Why do I get the feeling I totally lost control of this situation? Testimony. The mystery of the witch's scepter.
It's clear as day. Spells the witch. We are not backing down on this.
When she dropped the lantern, the scepter was not yet in her hands.
The scepter must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back.
The rogues grabbed her by the hand that held the lantern, so she must have had another way of holding that scepter.
Sir, why are you shutting yourself?
That's easy! They'll just put the bucket down on the ground and picked up the witch's magic stick!
Can't say scepter. Yet I can say eloquently, but not as well as I would like to because my lisp is starting to show when I say eloquently. So, she had the witch's scepter behind her back. She then dropped the lantern and reached for the scepter after it fell. If that was the case, then it must have been possible for the accused to have used magic. This is bad. Thanks to this guy, now all the witnesses seem extra determined to pin this thing on Isabella. They each harbored a shared anger towards witches and magic. Such is the cause of their strong desire to see a guilty verdict passed on as quickly as possible. However, such confidence is undoubtedly bound to cloud their better judgment and thinking. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think these guys mean any real harm, but they're all riled up. They don't even realize how distorted their idea of what happened tonight has become. At least that's how it seems.
This isn't good, Professor. The witnesses aren't thinking straight. They're completely blind to the truth.
Sir Baker, rather, Sir Wright. Yes.
You do not appear to be a mere simple baker, that much is clear. On the other hand, you are no ordinary defender either. Never before has a defender managed to clash and do battle with me here on this battlefield as an equal. Sir Blue Knight, this trial has not yet been decided. If there's any doubt in your interpretation, I will not hesitate to strike your case down where it stands. I understand. I don't know why, but it strikes me as Lance Dragoon right there. The line he just said just made me think about my character. Defender, please begin your interrogation. Really, sir? Then may I present this bucket of milk to your face?
Objection!
I'm afraid what really happen's not quite so simple.
What? What you talking about?
It had only just stopped raining moments before the crime took place. As a result, the ground
was very muddy. If Miss Cantabella really placed this bucket on the ground, like you claim she did, then it should be caked with mud, just like the lantern was after it fell. Well, I say that clears up your muddy testimony, wouldn't you?
Well, hey, bottom! You just gonna sit there looking pretty. Come on, give me a hand out.
Flies are able to get you nowhere. Other than perhaps to the devil. At any rate, there's but one question we ought to ask. Why is there no mud on that bucket? To the witness with the goat, may I ask you a question?
Are you talking to us?
Indeed, you admitted to the court that you returned home with the milk bucket. Illegally, I must add.
Such harsh words, Inquisitor.
When you took the bucket home, you must have simply wiped the mud from the bucket. Is that correct?
You know, now that you mention it.
No way. Don't tell me.
That milk bucket. Oh, that's right. I remember now. I don't know if it was what was on the bucket. I don't know if it was what was on the bucket was mud exactly, but it certainly was dirty. Before taking it inside with me, I remember wiping it clean with an old rag.
Are you kidding me?
Exceptional work, Inquisitor Barnum.
Right, it all makes perfect sense. See, we were right all along, weren't we, Inquisitor Barnum?
I knew that sword weren't just for show. Barnum, you sliced the argument in two.
Objection!
Witness, Miss Mary.
What is it?
You're absolutely sure there was mud stuck to this milk bucket?
No lie, when truth be told, I don't remember whether it was mud or not exactly. I do remember cleaning the bucket off when I got home.
Would seem the defense has failed to disprove the witness's claim. Of that, we can be quite certain.
Ha! That teacher Beauty! You got that right. Do me a favor with your grabs while charging me testimony. I won't change my testimony just a tiny bit.
I will allow it only if the witness refrains from name calling in the future.
You got it, you know. Man, all this court mumbo jumbo has left me thirsty at that dog and a desk.
The fuck? That's an endless mug right there.
Which the hell was on the stick? I even heard her say it in incantation to him. That's right, witness it all.
Hold it!
But no one knows for sure if Miss Cantabella dropped that milk bucket on the ground. Because there's no mud on it, is that what you're saying?
Aye! We went over this already. We know the goat lady wiped off all the mud.
Objection!
However, Miss Mary doesn't clearly remember whether or not it was mud that was stuck on the bucket.
We really don't remember, but maybe. I guess maybe there was one other night. I mean, she couldn't hold the scepter without putting the bucket on the ground.
Miss Mary, please give a definitive answer.
You old time baby, talk all you want, cause it ain't gonna help you see. The five of us, we saw what that. Really? We saw what we.
Let me read that again.
The five of us, we saw what that witch went and did. So, to this day, get your father's better than one. Your 10 eyeballs are better than 2. And these 10 eyes don't lie. That girl's a witch.
I don't know, man. I've heard things about 8 eyes.
Well, it's a peculiar way of phrasing it.
Okay, we don't here. We're better move not here, people. More's coming. They ain't a magic spell strong enough that could change what the five of us saw tonight.
They may all have their own reasons for accusing a spell, but there's also one thing they all have in common. They generally believe a spell's a witch. Were we to disprove that belief, there would be no way for them to recover. The witnesses would have to acknowledge the truth of what happened tonight. They are, after all, witnesses. They must be fully aware of what actually transpired. That means I've got to pay extra attention to their reactions and testimonies.
I think you may observe the witnesses, Mr. Wright. You can do it.
I've got to try and get the truth out of these witnesses somehow.
Hold it! Objection!
Proceed.
Really, sir?
Hang on!
Excuse me, mister? Dude, are you okay? Earth the cramps? What is he doing?
Defender, when you say grams, might you, by any chance, be referring to me?
No, not you, sir. No, of course not, Your Honor. Mr. Wordsmith, are you listening? What's going on with this dude?
I heard you quite clearly the first time, young man. These ears hear all the crackling of the fire, the whispering of the crowd, and now your voice.
If that's the case, then allow me to ask you a question. You were clearly deep in thought just now. Do you have something to say about this man's testimony?
Indeed, sir.
know I felt something was amiss. However, what that means, I cannot say. Amiss? Witness, could you tell us? What precisely was amiss with this third-rate testimony from this third-rate witness?
Burn.
5 heads are better than 1. 10 eyeballs are better than 2. As I listened to this man's testimony, I could not help but become aware of something most odd. Tonight, when the crime occurred, we all made haste to that terrible scene. The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner permeated through the air. The shadows of those present cast through the dim light. And yet there were but 4 figures standing in the vicinity of myself included. 4? Hold on one second. You're saying that there were only 4 witnesses at the crime scene tonight? These eyes may be old, but they know what they saw. Inka dinka doo! There's something in the matter, Miss Mary.
No, it's just that Snowy and I are trying to remember what happened at the time. I remember the flames erupting in the air. That's when Snowy and I made our mad dash to save the precious milk. And when those 2 ruffians were set ablaze, the flame filled the area with light. In that sudden flash of light, we could see that there were other people around besides ourselves. And that's when I saw them. The other people that scrambled to the scene along with us. I'm quite sure that there were only 4 of us there at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Hold it, madam. What in blazes is going on? We have 5 witnesses on the stand claiming to have witnessed tonight's events firsthand. That means we have 1 witness too many. Don't be stupid! Oi! You're not best off speaking out of turn! All for one for all. Remember, we all promised to take this witch down together, didn't we?
It's not quite that simple. We saw what we saw.
Well, I say it's all about the numbers. And I counted, I say! I'll have you know my counting's flawless. On nights when sleep eludes me, I can count sheep from moonrise to sunrise.
4 witnesses, 5 witnesses. What difference does it make?
I can count.
Things all started getting muddled when you showed up.
What's it? You saying it's my fault? I was there, you fool! Didn't I just finish saying that?
My testimony is stronger still, yet you're wielding a... Even if it's not completely stainless, yet you're wielding a wood shield, sir. Sit your ass down.
Order! I said order!
What is going on here? You claim the number of witnesses does not add up. I've never paid witness to such an outrageous conflict. There is but one answer to this puzzle. A single possibility. What do you mean? Without a doubt, magic must have been used at the scene of the crime. Furthermore, it would appear that there were only 4 witnesses present at the scene. And yet, currently, we are faced with 5 witnesses testifying to the court. That certainly is quite a fatal contradiction, with only one possible answer. Would you not agree, Mr. Wright? The answer can't be.
out with the supposed answer, Sir Blue Knight. What is your explanation for this current number of witnesses?
One of them is the witch. While it may seem far-fetched, the reality is actually rather simple. The real witch, and the real murderer, in this case, is actually one of these 5 witnesses.
What? Haymaker! You're telling us that the witch is amongst this group of witnesses? What other rubbish?
There is no possible way that such a claim could be true.
No, that's right! You got a lot of nerve accusing one of us being witch?
We have told you nothing but the truth, yet you still have to go to bat around in such an outrageous accusation.
Behold as my trusty shield deflects your petty words like the petty words that they are.
Inquisitor Bum. Yes, my lord. I would like to see a sketch of the crime scene at the time of the incident. You have one in your possession. Yes, certainly. I've one here. I requested it from this court illustrator, from the court illustrator, just in case. Very well, witnesses. I would like each of you to mark your location at the time of the murder. Here on this crime scene sketch. Quickly now. Number of witnesses. Looks like we're getting to somewhere now, but we haven't even scratched the surface of the case yet. And it's all thanks to this top hat wearing gentleman. The court accepts this crime scene sketch into evidence. Here we go. If one of the witnesses is the witch, that could only mean one thing. Somebody here isn't telling the truth. That wouldn't appear to be the case, Mr. Wright.
Listen well, Sir Blue Knight. The path you tread now is a dangerous one. Claiming that a witch is among these most vulnerable witnesses is a serious accusation. Should it prove to be a falsehood. You will find yourself at the other end of my sword. Do I make myself clear?
Huh? But that wasn't so much my suggestion.
I mean, a gentleman here with a lovely top hat was the one who urged me to say it. It is the same, Sir. Indeed, it is the same thing, Sir Baker. It is the same, Mr. Wright. Oh,
Haymaker!
Now, ready your sword.
ready?
Still my shovel!
Were you listening? You claim the witch is not accused, and someone else at the crime scene was the true culprit. If what you say is true, then surely you can tell the court exactly where this person was at the time of the crime, can you not? Come now, sir. Only you can enlighten us as to who this real witch actually is.
Sir Terry Defender. Now I have names. Show us where the witch was at the exact moment of the show us where the murder... Let me read that again. Show us where the witch was at the exact moment the murder took place. Just in case. Time to save state. Plop it down. So you see where we're right here? Right here.
Got it.
The witch must have been standing here.
Objection.
What is the meaning of this? Unfortunately for you, that spot has absolutely nothing to do with any of these witnesses.
Objection.
Inquisitor Barnum, I suggest you try taking a look at this. The Creme Grimoire? According to the stone, Ignite summons a circle of flame within 1 meter radius of the caster. In other words, the witch had to have been within 1 meter of the flame when casting the spell.
Objection.
Of course, you needn't say any more, Sir Greenlight. Ursov, notice that there is no one else in that area other than the accused. It should also be quite obvious from the sketch that there is clearly nowhere for anyone to hide.
Objection.
True, there aren't any hiding spots. However, there is only one other possibility if a witch wanted to stay hidden from sight.
Playmaker!
Most intriguing. Since you seem to love showing evidence, prove it! How was the witch able to hide in plain sight? Well, this happened. Timia!
Take that.
This Talia Magica contains 2 magic gems. Ignites and one other spell. That's right. The spell Dimia. Dimia. It cannot be! That's right. There was most certainly a witch present at the crime scene, only they were completely invisible. All thanks to the magic spell Dimia.
What foolishness is this?
Order in the court! Defender, what are you getting at? I thought the witch used Dimia to make the Talea Magica disappear.
Objection.
According to the Grand Grimoire, under the entry for Dimia, it causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. In other words, supposing the witch were holding the staff in one hand while touching part of their body with the other, they would be able to make themselves disappear.
Are you implying that this is the reason for the conflicting number of witnesses?
Indeed it is, which means witnesses. Someone among them is not disclosing the entire truth, and that person is the witch we seek. I believe this is the most probable scenario. Honorable witnesses, you will testify to the court one final time. Tell us exactly what you saw and what you did not see at the scene of the crime. I'm upset, upset! The purpose of this trial is to convict that girl of the crime, is it not?
That's right. We are not witches.
Witnesses, I ask that you listen. There is a witch mingling among you. That's right. I'm afraid you are all no longer brothers in arms. The true opponent here is within your own group. The real witch is one of these 5 witnesses. Fine, right. Time to put an end to this trial.
You wish to know where we were all standing tonight. It matters not. Were the flames not burned just the same? Afraid I never saw anything like it. It quite left me speechless. Couldn't even so much a scream.
I had to turn this guy, and then when I turned around, flies were roasting, so I rushed right over.
I heard the incantation. Then the flames suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it. I saw 3 people there with us.
As I said, there were only 3 others present. Like that man over there who was stumbling around like a newborn cow. A most heinous act indeed. No small wonder these witnesses are so confused. A witch among the witnesses. What an utterly baseless claim. I don't think so, Barnum. The only baseless claim is that case is of Espella being a witch. It's a little more like... It's more than like... I can read this. I'll start over. The only baseless claim in this case is of Espella being a witch. It's more than a little likely one of these witnesses is the culprit. These testimonies are bound to tell me who the real witch is. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hold it!
So, including yourself, there were a total of 4 witnesses at the crime scene, correct? That is how it has come to pass. By the way, what do you mean by stumbling around like a newborn cow? Ah, yes, that was mad as inebriated as he was loud. Quite a humorous sight, it was, dare say. Must mean the witness apparently glued to his cup of whatever it is he's drinking. When I saw the flames rise up into the sky, I wondered to myself, my word, whatever could that be? However, I could not simply walk over to check my knees might be weak from the strong shade. Then the wobbly legged gentleman came running over. Really, sir?
Hang on!
Something the matter, mister? Sir, I think you ought to look at your drink. Master!
Oh! 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 Turn down the volume, Billy!
That's my line! Said the night. Next time, please think before trying to press this witness. Looks like this guy even managed to scare Barnum half to death. Now then, sir, about Mr. Wordsmith's testimony just now. He claimed you were stumbling around. What did he mean by that?
I'm gonna set the record straight now. There's no way or stumbling around anywhere. I like to think the more of it like staggering with style.
Responsible, don't you know better than to go stumbling around in the dead of night?
Oh, especially if you're looking for a toilet.
Hey, I'll just go stumbling around like some clumsy idiot. I've got more sense than that. Well, anyway, kind of tripped over a lost stone. I mean, you don't exactly see what's on the ground in front of you when you're running at full pelt, right? So, you could say I put me off out on the lawn, proving that you really need to watch where you're going when you're on.
How courageous of you. Someone give this guy a medal. My lord, this testimony is a meaningless waste of everyone's time. Well, defender, is that point to this particular line of question?
Is there anything worth pursuing here? What should I do? Further, the witness stated earlier that he tripped over a large stone. Mister, I have one question for you. Why weren't you watching what was in front of you?
Well, you be honest, it ain't much of a reason, but something suddenly caught my attention. I didn't know where I sort of heard someone call out my name.
You heard your name.
Of course, I turned around when I heard it. Hey, what? When a woman calls out your name, you pay attention, am I right?
So you heard someone call out, "Hey, you," from behind you, me?
What? I said they called out my name! I may God see you! No, call, hey, you! My name's Emir! And don't you ever forget me, do you hear me?
I must say, this gentleman really does not strike me as an Emir.
You know, Professor, it's not a very memorable name, huh?
That's harsh. Honorable witnesses, is there anyone among you who was aware of this man's name prior to now?
Not at all. He's always just been mystic to me.
Knight's name is only as good as the name of the sword he carries.
I carry two. One samurai spirit, the other one... I like the dub from the wooden sword. The monolith. The one with the sheath is samurai spirit.
It is the first I've heard of this. Yes, sir, I did not expect his name to be one such as Emir.
I'm sorry, I didn't know his name. I only remember the names of my most loyal customers.
Okay, it looks like absolutely no one knew this witness name.
You know, I ain't really much of a surprise to me either. But seriously, I'll definitely hear someone call me name. When you get to be mage, you really start to wonder when you'll find your true love, you know? I thought that pretty voice tonight might have been me, sweetie.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Huh. We are not amused. Your Honor, I don't believe we should be so quick to label Mr. Emir's testimony meaningless. Would you not agree? I request that the witness add this amusing anecdote to his testimony. Understood. Witness, amend your testimony to please reflect only the important points of the story.
I'm telling you, I heard someone call my name and I was looking around trying to find him.
Alright, just saying, tripping over.
Hold it!
Excuse me, Emir.
Oh, don't sweat, baby. Mister, it's all same to me.
You say that you heard your name being called from behind. Are you absolutely sure about that?
Oh, well, wrong. It says something about my name on me was good. But I would never remember that happening if I had heard so long. See it? I mean, there's a chance I'll just imagine it. Well, anyway, I'll remember it. Came from somewhere behind me.
From somewhere behind. Something the matter, Mr. Wright. Mr. Emir's memory is the most accurate, but what he says is true. Then there's definitely something there. Something, you say? Might you mean a contradiction? Yeah, I think so, although I don't know. There's just something strange about his testimony. I don't see any decisive evidence in the court record that can help. Do you mean to say you found a contradiction that cannot be supported by the evidence?
Objection!
Haymaker!
My lord, this line of interrogation is a complete waste of the court's time. Defendant must warn you from here on. Any unnecessary questioning will be dealt with in the court. If I don't answer correctly here, it's curtains for the trial and it's spelled. One tenant on finding a fault in this witness testimony. You will need to present decisive evidence to back up your claims. There's not one single piece of decisive evidence in the court record. What do I do now? Mr. Wright. Mr. Layton! I've an idea. I believe there is a weapon of sorts with which you may be able to expose this contradiction without need of evidence. Now, defender, give us your hands up. Yes, Your Honor. The defense finds that the witness testimony contains a clear contradiction. Your Honor, the defense believes there is a huge contradiction in the witness testimony.
Objection!
Haymaker!
What is this? You must be an even bigger fool than I thought, Sir Blue Knight. You really do not possess even a sliver of common sense, do you?
Objection!
If I may interrupt for just a moment, Inquisitor Bonham. Allow me to ask you this. What need is there for common sense in a world that forgoes using it? Accordingly, I must humbly ask that you discard such a manner of thinking. Whatever it will be. You have my utmost thanks for placing your trust in me, Mr. Wright. Let us discuss the one remaining weapon in this cross-examination. The remaining weapon. This trial has taught us a valuable new technique to be used in the courtroom, has it not? You mean questioning, not Professor? Indeed it is, Luke. Each of these witnesses in this trial has given their own account of what occurred. Therefore, whenever one witness has testified, the other remaining witnesses have listened. That gives me an idea. In addition to catching a witness off guard and questioning them about another's testimony, there is one more thing. Something else we can get from a five-person cross-examination. That's right, of course! Indeed, Mr. Wright.
contradictions. Should one witness testimony differ from another's, then I suppose that in itself can also be considered a contradiction, can it not?
Testimony contradicting testimony. Never thought of that until now.
Hey, Michael!
Enough, Sir Blue Knight. Are you prepared to present to the court evidence proving a contradiction within this witness testimony? The witness testimony does not contradict any evidence. It contradicts a testimony.
What are you talking about?
It is time, Mr. Wright. Have a look at the touchscreen. There you will see the testimony of the witness in question as well as those of the other witnesses. Keep your eyes peeled and identify the contradicting testimony.
All right. Let's give this another shot, Nick. Make sure you don't forget to take a look at the court record, too.
So, we have to question this one. That flame, I never saw anything like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much scream.
Objection!
Igari!
The person contradicting this man's testimony is none other than you, Miss Kira.
Are you both pointing at me?
At the time of the incident, that man heard someone's voice call out his name. That voice belonged to you, Miss Kira. It could not have been any else. And yet, in your testimony, you stated that you were in such shock during tonight's events that you couldn't even speak. This is a clear contradiction.
Objection!
What's the meaning of this, defender?
Can you really claim to trust the sham of a witness and a sham of a testimony?
Objection!
That man's character is besides the point. His testimony is anything but a sham. As he watched the flames erupt, his attention was drawn to a voice behind him, which in turn made him fall over. He heard a woman's voice calling his name. A very concrete reason, and reason enough to believe his testimony.
Objection!
Hey, Michael!
It is as you say. Explain why you feel this witness is somehow responsible.
That's right. Well, what do you mean? People barely hear me when I'm setting my flowers. That's how soft my voice is. And besides, there was another woman at the scene, wasn't there? Me? What are you kidding at, young lady? Do you honestly think a woman my age would be out late at night in the forest, flirting with questionable men? Besides, I didn't even know this pathetic man's name. How could I call it out to him?
This poor man's like, why me?
Neither did I. But even if I did know his name, do you really think he's the guy any self-respecting girl would want?
Damn.
Come on, ladies. I'm standing right here, you know.
As I was saying, the only person that guy could have heard from behind him was you, Miss Kira. The defense wishes to present evidence to prove its claim.
To accuse a witness like this young lady here, why, this is simply unheard of. I must warn you, defender, if you cannot prove your accusation to this court, you will see the underside of my gavel.
shows the evidence proving this young lady was called out to this man at the scene at the time of the crime.
Okay.
Take that!
Take a look at this and you'll have your answer. This is the crime scene sketch. You can see the position of each witness during the crime. The only person that he could have possibly have heard from behind him was none other than Miss Kira.
Objection!
Hey, Michael!
Listen here, Sir Knight. I will tell you this one more time. A sham of a witness yields only a sham of a testimony. That is all there is to it. Did you, in fact, see this flower girl's face?
You know, now that you mention it, seeing as I'm falling down and all, I don't think I've seen her face.
Okay, but you heard her voice, right?
Let me think. The voice came out, you know, it was kind of high-pitched. And I guess it kind of sounded like that. I can't tell you whether or not it was this guy's voice.
And there you have it, Sir Knight. Such pity.
Hey, Michael!
My lord, it is clear that the defense's claims is nothing but a pointless waste of the court's time. I recommend you deliver unto them a penalty befitting such behavior. Indeed, Courtier. Bear yourself, defender. What is that laughter?
Pardon me, my lord. It looks like you finally arrived at a decision. That means this has nothing to do with me. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Bard?
What are you saying?
I'm saying that it is time for me to stop petting testimony and get back to petting flowers. I mean, look at all of these flowers left over. It's going to take until sunrise to sell them all if I stay here any longer. Or maybe, my lord, you and the rest of the court would be interested in buying my entire stock of flowers you have with your land.
Oh, no, I mean,
Then it's settled. Now, if you'll excuse me, my apologies for the interruption.
understood. The court will dismiss the witness. Well, Miss Kira, it would seem you are beginning to show the court your true colors.
Whatever do you mean? Okay then, everyone, it looks like that's that.
Hold it!
Wait! You can't leave yet! This cross-examination isn't over!
Now that's funny you say it is nothing, and the rest of the court seems to think otherwise. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Bard?
The Inquisition maintains that the real witch is the accused, Espella Cantabella. This girl is nothing more than a witch. As such, the court cannot force her to stay against her will. This is bad. They let her walk out now.
Nick, do you think she could be...
The real witch.
You really like throwing around accusations, don't you, Sir Defender? Let me spell it out for you. One last time, so even you can understand. I didn't know this man's name at all before today. I still don't remember it. So, how could I have called out to him? Do you get it now? Now then, until we meet again, don't forget to buy some flowers on your way home, everyone.
Hold it.
One moment, please, Miss Kira.
Is there something else you wanted?
You don't seem to realize what you just let slip.
What are you talking about?
This man testified that when he heard his name called at the crime scene. However, you had no knowledge of his name at the time, is that correct?
That's right. This weirdo's just imagining things. Like I said, I've already forgotten his name, even if he told it to us earlier.
There's just one problem, Miss Kira. Namely, what the voice you heard tonight was actually saying. What do you mean? That's obvious. It was a name, wasn't it? Now, what was that name again?
I'm still here, you know.
You're saying that what this man heard tonight wasn't a name, but rather something else entirely? Indeed, I am inquisitive. Something else. Aha! There's only one other thing it could be. It's a stretch, but the possibility is there. That's right, Mr. Wright. That single possibility is the key to solving this mystery.
Is the defense ready to present its evidence to the court?
This is ridiculous. I demand you let me go this instant.
Hey, Michael!
Witness, what you are being accused of is not to be taken. You will not leave this courtroom so as long as any reasonable doubt remains. Defender, you may present your evidence. Show the court what this voice, this man heard tonight, what it was saying. Oh, easy. Dimio!
Take that!
Excuse me, mister. I'm sorry. What's your name again? You've, got a name that no one seems to remember for some reason?
Oi, it's Emil! The name's Emil, damn it! How many times will I go say it?
No matter the number of times you say, you do not look like Emil.
Again, I only remember my most loyal customer's names, and he doesn't look like he could afford even a single day.
God damn, girl!
Oh, come on, guys, don't kick it up Conway song.
Mr. Emir, when you heard what you heard tonight at the crime scene was not your name. Your name just so happens to sound exactly like a certain other name. I'm not that name. The answer is right here in this tomb. I'm talking about Amir.
Amir?
What he actually heard at the time wasn't his own name. It was the name of a magical incantation.
What's a...
Miss Kira, have you forgotten what you said just a few minutes ago? You quite clearly stated that you didn't know this man's name.
Objection!
Sir Blue Knight, let me get this straight. You're saying that the Amir heard by the witness was actually said by this flower girl? And that it was not his name at all, but rather the incantation of a magic spell? The defense proposes the following. The true criminal, this supposed witch, is not the defendant, Miss Espella Cantabella, but instead the witness who was heard uttering the magic incantation, Miss Kira. She's our witch. You use magic to vanish from the scene of the crime and try to frame Miss Cantabella instead.
No! What just happened?
That girl is probably really not a witch.
Unbelievable. I've never heard of anything like this.
Inquisitor Barnum! Has you really defeated Inquisitor Barnum?
Objection!
Hey, Michael!
Impressive display, Sir Blue Knight. It would seem you have finally managed to hone your blade. However, I believe that blade's edges are already beginning to dull.
What do you mean? I am referring to a contradiction. Naturally.
Hey, that's my line.
My Lord, the Inquisition would like to set the record straight regarding what transpired this evening. Very well, Inquisitor Barnum. Sir Blue Knight, at the time of the crime, the accused, Espella Cantabella, was surrounded by 2 rooms. Then, in order to frame the accused as a witch, Miss Kira cast a spell Demia and made herself vanish. She then moved in closer to the victims, at which point she cast Ignites, thus causing the incident seen by our witnesses tonight. That doesn't seem to be the case. The problem is what happened next. There's a contradiction in the defense's account of Miss Kira's movements. A contradiction in her movements. Allow me to continue. The witnesses have stated that they each ventured out towards the crime scene. Which is when Miss Kira, the witch, made her way to this point while still invisible. When she arrived at the said spot, she then cast Amir and reappeared to join the other witnesses. And there you have it. That is That's correct. Then Mr. Emir heard her call his name. Well, then I have but one question that I would like you to answer. Why would a witch need to do such a thing? What do you mean? Supposing Miss Kira were a witch, surely she would not have made the conscious decision to reappear when she did. One would imagine she would remain hidden and flee the crime scene.
Right. That's what I'd do if I was a witch.
Given that point, there would be no viable reason for her to recite the incantation. In other words, it is inconceivable that this flower seller Miss Kira could be a witch. What?
What just happened? That girl? Kira really not a witch?
Mr. Barnum just turned this entire trial right around.
That's what I expect from his Olympia's sword of justice.
That's right. You all heard it. It's just as Inquisitor Barnum said. Me, a witch. The idea is laughable.
Not good. She's completely bounced back onto her feet.
We were so close too. I can't believe it. I can't believe Inquisitor Blonde. Can't you see it? You just have to take one good look at her. It's obvious she's a real witch here.
Remember, Mr. Wright, in times like these, a cool head will prevail.
Mr. Layton!
I'm sure you have had to fight your way out of circumstances such as these many times before. This situation is no different. As a defense attorney, what would you usually do at such a time? What would I usually do? Of course. There's only one thing that can get me out of a situation like this. I've got to flip this case on its head and think outside the box!
It would seem the defense has nothing further to add.
Why, of course. That's because everyone knows the truth. You know the girl right there is the real witch. That settles it then. Go ahead, leave your verdict, Madame.
Objection!
The situation's exactly as you described, Inquisitor Barnum. It really doesn't make much sense for the witch to have used a mirror. Regardless, the defense still maintains that Miss Kira did utter that incantation and make herself reappear. Now the question is, for what reason? If she really didn't have to use that spell, then why use it in the first place? If I can find the answer to that question, then this entire case will start to unravel. Most fascinating. Very well. Allow us to hear this theory of yours. Tell the court why it was necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene. Well, we're still in the game. We should eliminate the impossible. What remains must be the truth. The reason Miss Kira reappeared at the scene of the crime was to cover it up. I can't think of any other possibility. This has to be the answer. Isn't it obvious? She was trying to cover up her own crime. Oh, is that right? Tell me, why would she do that? Well, just give me a minute. I'm getting to that part.
Hey, Miko!
That will not be necessary, Sir Blue Knight. Huh? Think about it. What would she have to hide? If no one could have seen her to begin with.
You heard the good Inquisitor. No matter how you look at it. There'd be no reason for me to appear, assuming I was a criminal, that is.
You can't argue with her there.
Objection!
Pardon the interruption, but that's not necessarily the case. Mr. Layton! Explain yourself, Sir Tonnant. You have stated that Miss Kira had no reason to reappear. However, the situation changed, and it became necessary for her to show herself. Isn't that right, Miss Kira?
What are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean.
It would appear. It would seem the defense must clarify their argument with evidence. Mr. Wright, I believe that Miss Kira did not intend to reveal herself at the crime scene. Rather, that something occurred which forced this young lady to make herself reappear. It was on point that she had to reappear with being spotted.
Defender, tell the court why it would have been necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene. Okay, please.
Take that!
Miss Carey, you usually wear glasses, is that correct?
It's like I already told you. I lost my glasses a few days ago.
Are you absolutely sure about that? Or did you not, in fact, lose them tonight?
During the crime?
Of course not.
Perhaps you accidentally dropped them while you were committing the crime. Then, as you were attempting to make your escape, you noticed they were gone. Therefore, you made yourself reappear in order to search for your missing glasses.
No!
Objection!
Hey, Miko! How absurd! Such baseless conjecture!
What you propose is fundamentally flawed.
What do you mean? Let us assume, hypothetically, that the witch did in fact drop this evidence. That does not explain what purpose it would serve for her to make herself reappear. It would still make more sense for her to escape under cover of darkness.
Objection!
Unfortunately, Inquisitor Barnum, such a plan was simply not possible.
What?
Mr. Wright, do you understand what I'm suggesting? Yes? He means the reason Miss Kira made herself reappear at the crime scene. Okay, this is it.
Defender, enlighten us. Why did the witness feel the need to make herself reappear?
She couldn't find her glasses. Answer simple, Your Honor. She couldn't find her glasses. She could not find them. If you notice, she's still not wearing her glasses right now.
Objection!
Hold a moment, Sir Blue Knight. What does that have to do with anything?
That's right. It doesn't change a single thing.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong. In fact, it changes things quite a bit. Tonight, the two victims were engulfed by flames courtesy of a magic spell. That very instant, 4 witnesses saw the flames erupt at the scene. It was at that point that something you didn't expect occurred. You suddenly lost your glasses. That's right. You were scared that if your glasses were discovered at the scene of the crime, you would be suspected of being a witch.
Objection!
What foolishness! Even if her glasses were found,
She could have simply explained that she dropped them there. She could have simply explained that she dropped them there days before the crime happened.
Objection!
I am afraid that is not a possibility, Inquisitor Bob.
what did you say?
If you recall, it had been raining quite heavily at the crime scene beforehand. Had she stated that she dropped her glasses before the crime, then naturally, one would expect the glasses to be soaked in water and covered in mud. However, the rain had already stopped at the time the crime was committed. In other words, one look at the pair of clean, dry glasses would reveal she had dropped them later, thus implicating her as the witch.
No!
I should have known. I was perfecting my rainfall rending technique in force. And not once during the rainfall did I see that flower maiden traveling along the nearby path. That's not all. In order to frame Miss Cantabella as the witch, you need to leave this witch's scepter behind at the scene of the crime. A sheep! That would be the most definitive evidence that she's the witch. The objective here was to have somebody else discover the staff at the scene. And as that person was I. However, no doubt you came to realize that one can deduce which spells were simply used by examining the magic gems on the scepter. In this case, one can see that the witch must have used the mirror to vanish from sight and make her escape. That's why, Miss Kira, you were left with no option but to reappear at the crime scene. That was the only way for you to avoid suspicion if someone were to discover your glasses at the crime scene. By reappearing, you'd be able to explain that you simply dropped your glasses when you rushed to see what happened.
Yori!
What do you have to say to that, Miss Kira?
You know, I've let you both ramble on and on, but playtime is over. So that's it, then? I'm a witch because I dropped my glasses? I must have said it how many times now? I lost my glasses days ago. Were you even listening? I'll say it again. Over 1,000,000 times! I lost my glasses! I lost my glasses! Do you like evidence, Sir Defender? Do you love proof, Sir Top Hat? Then prove I dropped my glasses at the crime scene. You can't prove it! In other words, you lose.
That is correct. Proving such a thing would indeed be impossible. To prove that the witness dropped her glasses at the crime scene, what say you, Inquisitor Barnum? It is indeed a question of proof, my lord. These glasses have been missing from the very beginning. The Knights of the Inquisition found no trace of these glasses anywhere near the crime scene. Therefore, this witness cannot in any way be accused of being witch.
You heard the man. But we were so close. That guy's a witch! Don't anyone see that! What shall we do, Professor?
Well, it would seem the young lady has finished what she had to say. Would you agree, Mr. Wright? Yeah, certainly looks that way, Mr. Layton.
What's with that face? Did you find something funny here?
Tis as you said, Inquisitor Barnum. Explain. The defense raises just one further question. Why were you unable to find those glasses?
What do you mean?
You must have searched the
the area quite thoroughly looking for them.
And yet even now the knights have been unable to locate those glasses. Did you ever wonder why?
Yes, that has become quite a mystery. Surely there must be a route.
The glasses were lost to the wolves. That is the only explanation. There is still one remaining place that you have not searched tonight. What did you say? The glasses were supposedly not found at the crime scene, leaving only one other possible place. What is this, you two? How about you, Sir Blue Knight? Draw your blade and reveal to the court where the glasses are supposedly hiding. Looks like I've somehow managed to make it through the first witch trial. What comes down to this? The final piece of evidence. Time to clear up this case once and for all. I leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Wright. The piece of evidence pointing to the one place not searched is the bucket of milk.
Take that!
It does a body good.
Tonight. There was one thing that was carried away from the crime scene right under everyone's noses.
Carried away.
I'm speaking, of course, about this. That's the milk bucket that disappeared from the crime scene. Thus far, the defense's claims that the glasses were dropped at the crime scene has been regarded as mere speculation. However, if, Miss Kira, we find your glasses within the contents of this milk bucket, then our mere speculation will become fact. What manner of witch?
What are you talking about? You're crazy. Just crazy. No way could my glass be inside that stupid bucket. That's just impossible.
How about we quit with the speculation and actually find out? What do you say, Christopher?
Dad just went to cause time. Don't listen to the talk.
Tis mandated that the Knights of the Inquisition investigate any and all possibilities during the course of a trial.
Hey! Michael!
My lord, the Inquisition requests that this milk bucket be searched immediately. Very well. Oh. What?
What?
Miss Kitty, as you can see, your glasses have been found inside the milk buckets. The truth's out. Nothing you say can change that now. Which leads us to the next question. Specifically, a question of when. When did you drop your glasses into the milk bucket? What?
Why is this happening? Oh, it's ridiculous. The answer's obvious, isn't it? I dropped them afterwards. After I ran over to see the fire, I took a tiny peek inside that milk bucket. That's when they fell in.
Objection!
Don't be stupid, child.
Snorri and I were at the scene first. We made sure to take that milk bucket before anyone else could get their grubby little hands on it. We weren't going to let a single soul get anywhere near that
sweet, creamy bucket of deliciousness. You did it right farm on that.
Each of these 4 witnesses have stated they heard the spell Ignite being cast at the time of the incident. According to the Grand Grimoire, Ignite summons a circle of flame within 1 meter radius of the caster. In other words, the real witch must have been at Miss Canterville's side at the time of the incident. That is when the glasses fell into the milk bucket.
I know it's probably now names, but going by Japanese terms, it might have been like Ignites.
Therefore, there is only one logical conclusion. Only one person could be the true witch. She's about to take a shit.
Igari!
Miss Kira, you are the real witch.
I got it. I gotta do one. There. The double Igiari. Well, that was something. What a very strange trial that has been. From the very beginning, we've all paid witness to a most unusual set of circumstances. A baker-turned defendant, surprise extra witness, and now a not guilty verdict for the accused. Never have I seen such a spectacle.
Is this really happening? The girl inside the cage. You mean she's the real witch? But what about that Hispanic Cantabella part?
Miss Kira. Tell us why. Why were you trying to frame Miss Cantabella?
You could easily have escaped the crime scene without a trace. There was no reason to frame anyone. This crime was a result of nothing but your overwhelming ill intent.
To frame a person as a witch is to condemn that person to death by fire. Surely you must know this. So why Espella Cantabella?
Do you have any idea what it feels like to be a witch?
That's like having a disability and you get the outcast label right over your head.
What it feels like.
I didn't ask for this.
Nobody did.
I didn't ask for these powers, but I have them. And now here I am, begging for my life. I was living such a peaceful life until now. Selling flowers, getting scolded by my boss for not selling enough of them. That's why I was trying to put an end to these trials once and for all.
Put an end to the trials.
You all know what I mean? The one condition written in the story that will end these witch trials.
When the great witch Bezella has been put to the flames and vanquished from this world, these trials will come to an end.
This was my chance to finally end all this. At least that's what I thought. The sun had begun to set on that lonely forest path, and there wasn't a soul in sight. I always carried my hidden Talia Magica with me in case of a moment like this. I used my magic to expose that girl for what she really is. If I had been successful, then all these trials would finally end and I could go on living my peaceful life.
What? What are you saying? Am I hearing this correctly? Are you actually accusing Espera Cantabella?
Why do you think no one has ever seen the legendary Great Witch? It's because she's been hidden in our midst the entire time. She's protected. She's hidden from us. It's all part of the story.
Part of the story?
Objection!
Hey, Michael!
That's enough! Speak no more. A witch's existence cannot be justified.
No, please. I know you've all noticed it too. You could end this. All of this. That girl. It's all because of that girl. I beg you. Please. Please release me. Knights of the court. Isn't it your duty to protect the people of this town? Give me another chance.
Hey, Michael!
That is where you're wrong. Tis indeed a knight's duty to protect. We are impelled to protect the citizens of Labyrinthia against you and your ilk. The reason you were offered my protection until now was because your guilt was uncertain. There was the possibility that you were not a witch. The circumstances were such that it seemed another was guilty. That possibility has since disappeared, and your innocence along with it. You now find yourself at the other end of my sword. Vile witch, enemy of Labyrinthia, may the fires purge you from this land.
Hold it! Please wait! Stop! Please just stop this!
Espella!
If it means putting an end to these horrible trials. Let me take her place. Let me be the zealot. Send me to the flames. But please, if it would save her life.
This trial has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this flower seller, Kira, is a witch. And according to the law, all those found to be witches will be executed.
Did he say executed? He can't mean...
Yes.
This is most unsettling.
This means the bitch must burn!
Bailiff, ready the fire.
No! No! Don't do this!
Listen to me! Don't let her fool you! Espella is the Great Witch! Hear me! There's no time to waste! She's Priscilla! Take her! And then these witch trials will be no more! The witch trials will end!
And she goes into the flame. Damn. So far, we've always managed to pull off a win and get a not guilty verdict. But winning has never felt this depressing. Oh, Spella, are you alright?
Yes, I just wanted to help you. You all came to my rescue yet again.
Oh, yeah, of course we did.
Hold on a second, Spella. What did you just say now? You all came to my rescue yet again. You know me. Yes, I remember everything. I remember the last trial. I suppose that makes this the second time we met and the second time all of you helped me.
Mr. Wright, am I to infer that you and the speller have met before? Ah, yeah, it seems that way. You too, Mr. Layton? Perhaps it would be best if we briefed each other on what has transpired. Okay, what should we discuss? What happened in London? The speller paid us a visit. She had in her session a letter from an old acquaintance of mine. Is that right?
And Mr. Accidente helped drive its spell straight out of Labyrinthia. You both kept me safe from the witches that were chasing me. Wait, did you just say witches? So they appeared in London too?
Regrettably, I am unable to say that our protection was absolute. When we saw you last, it seemed you managed to escape. Courtesy of that passing freighter.
Oh yeah, that's right. What happened to you after that was bad? I rode the ship along the river for a while, before arriving at a nearby port. And then that's when I met Mr. Wright and Maya.
Then what happened on the ship?
I didn't know where the ship would end up. I felt very lonely out there.
Please accept my sincerest apologies. I am afraid there was nothing else I could do to prevent it.
No, please, don't blame us on Mr. Layton. I just didn't know what to do, so I tried to look for something, anything on the ship that might help me. Well, you sure found something all right. I'd rather someone you ran into a master thief working as part of the ship's crew.
It wasn't even Lupin.
Yes, that's right. Did you say Master Thief? Crikey, that's amazing!
I wouldn't exactly say it was amazing.
After that, I was taken to court, and that's when Mr. Wright helped me.
I see. Then perhaps somewhere deep within your mind must have existed a memory of that previous trial and of Mr. Wright. Hence why you thought to seek out his help when you found yourself in an unfortunate situation. I read again. Hence why you thought to seek out his help when you found yourself in such an unfortunate situation this evening.
That makes sense. After all, Nick did make legal history that day in jolly old England. Did you say he made history? Oh, that's incredible, right, Professor?
I wouldn't exactly say I made history.
But then after all that, I was never able to find my way back to the Professor. Even after I went through the pains of finding that clue, it ended up being taken away from me.
A clue, you say?
Yes, the tag that was hanging around the neck of that.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, yes, the tag that was hanging around the neck of that sweet little stuffed toy.
That tag. That tag was a clue? Clue for what? The tag.
I had a lot of time to think about while I was on that ship. I thought about a lot of things. Like how to try and find a way back once the ship arrived at its destination. Things like that. Find a way back. A way back to Mr. Layton and them. They were the only ones I knew I could depend on to help me.
The pleasure was ours, Spear. hard I tried, I couldn't remember the name of the town where they lived.
Oh? You mean London, Isabella?
Oh, that's it. London. That's what was written in Carmeline's letter to Mr. Layton. The big teddy bear I found in that room is wearing a tag around his neck.
Sorry, Spell, the PC Badger looks nothing like a teddy bear. Looks nothing like a teddy bear.
On a tag in very small letters was written London. I recognized the name of the town. I thought it might be an address.
That's because that stuffed toy was used in a special promotion run by the London Metropolitan Police. Metropolitan. Like Metropolis. That's because that stuffed toy was used in a special promotion run by the London Metropolitan Police.
Oh, that's right. Miss Bell, you must have known that address was important, so that's why you kept the tag, right? That way you can meet up with Mr. Layton and Luke again. I just felt so lonely and helpless. I wonder now, who do you think really did it? Hit Olivia over the head with a pipe, I mean... What's this?
Oh yeah, I guess we never did find out who the real culprit was. I do believe that may have some connection to the group of witches.
What, you mean the witches that were chasing us through London?
Indeed. It could be that they noticed your escape to that ship and managed to infiltrate their own way of order.
Could it be? So you're saying there was some big, scary witch lurking around the inside of the cargo hold?
I'm afraid there's a rather high possibility that was the case. Those witches were intent on seeing you brought back to Labyrinthia no matter what. However, in order to do so, they had to make certain you did not become entangled in any situation that may stall your capture. In other words, the situation with Miss Aldente. Precisely. They must have knocked that crew member unconscious in an attempt to recapture Espella before the police could arrive. However, the plan was clearly foiled given that you ended up in court regardless. That's when she became my client.
I can't clearly remember anything that happened back then.
Do you think there's a possibility that someone was pulling Espella's strings throughout the entire trial?
Hey, maybe you're right. There was something a little strange about Espella at the time.
Mr. Wright, Espella was introduced to you at the time as a schoolgirl, is that correct? Yes. She would have no knowledge of the world outside of Labyrinthia. That being the case, having her stand in an English courtroom as she was would pose a serious problem. Meaning that someone must have been attempting to cover up Espella's identity.
What? But Professor, can someone really do that?
That they could indeed, and if it is as I suspect, I believe our adversaries may be far more powerful than we originally thought. Just accept what we're dealing with here.
Hey guys, let's head back to the bakery for now. I bet the boss is waiting for us with one heck of a pastry feast. Oh, actually, I can't go home just yet. Oh, you can't? Aw.
Well, there are still a couple legal procedures to be taken care of before I can go home. Please, you all go on ahead without me.
Is that so? Very well.
I really must thank you all. Thank you so much for everything. Alright then, Miss Bella. We'll catch you later. Yes. Farewell for now.
Mr. Wright, please allow me the pleasure of a proper introduction. My name is Herschel Layton, a professor of archaeology in London. Professor? Huh. Well, my name's Phoenix Wright. Or my real name is Naruhodo Ryu. I'm an attorney. As I suspected, you were no ordinary baker after all, Mr. Wright. Yeah, I thought it was pretty weird myself, to be honest. I mean, I really did believe I'd been a baker all my life. The more everyone kept saying it, the less sure I was that it was actually true. Just where did that memory come from?
Hey, Professor! Mr. Wright's an attorney. That must mean he's as smart as you, right?
I'm afraid I really can't say, Luke.
But behind every ace attorney, there's an even smarter, not to mention beautiful, witty, and utterly amazing ace assistant.
I think you also forgot humble.
My name's Nick Charlton. I'm the professor's apprentice. I'm Maya Fay, and Nick here is my apprentice. Isn't that right, Nicky boy?
Nicky boy? Hey, wait! Why am I your apprentice?
Anyway, we should all head back to the bakery. Let's get a move on.
I'm sure a spell will be back before we know it. I would not get your hopes up about that, Sir Blue Knight. Inquisitor Barnum! Most impressive work tonight. 'Tis a shame you have kept such ability here until now.
Trust me, Nick's learns ability to beat the pants off his baking abilities any day of the week.
Okay, moving on! What do you mean by that, Inquisitor? Why can't a spell go home? New charges have been brought up against Miss Spell Canterbury.
What? No way! That can't be right!
You've realized it, haven't you? She's being charged under suspicion of being the Great Witch Rizella. She what? How can that be? Am I to assume that charge is based purely on Miss Kira's accusation? Basically, cursed her. That kind of accusation, that's more like a curse. Like, I curse you for being this. I curse you for being, you know, it's like if you're accusing, that sounds more like cursing somebody. So it's like, I curse you. I place this curse on you. You know, that's what it sounds like. It was not I who made the decision. Huh? Regardless, the girl will return to court at the appointed time for further trial. Until then, I'm to seek out any and all evidence pertaining to the Great Witch. Pardon me, Inquisitor. When exactly is this appointed time? The investigation into this allegation will conclude on the next day of the storyteller's next parade. That would be 2 weeks from today. Following our investigations into the matter, the trial of the Great Witch shall proceed. What? It would appear the girl has been holding a dark secret from you. As Bella Canterbury's questioning set to begin shortly. That means visiting hours are over. I recommend you leave. Miss Miller? The legendary Great Witch Bethzelda? The story that dictates the fate of an entire town. And now a so-called Great Witch named Bethzelda. It would seem to be up to us to uncover the answers to these mysteries. But how are we supposed to manage it all in 2 weeks? Where are we going to find any evidence?
You know, I was thinking that. How do you dress a great witch? Hail to the old magnificent magical one? Or maybe for soft witchy baby?
What difference would it make? She's called a great witch, and that's not someone I'd ever want to meet! I believe I thought of a solution to our problems. Rather, actually simple. Professor Layton, allow me to explain, Mr. Wright. The only way we may be able to solve the mysteries of this town and its residents is if we join forces.
Usually, in anything Japanese, when it's called a versus, it usually means they team up. See, any Super Sentai special, whenever you say something like, say, this versus, it doesn't really mean against. It really means, like, they're going to be teaming up.
He's right. We've come this far, there's no way we're just going to give up on a spell. Okay, I'm on board. Look forward to teaming up with you, Professor.
Me too, Luke. Me too, Maya.
Now then, shall we press on? This marks the beginning of our own story. One dictated by ourselves and written by our own hand.
And made by Level 5 and Capcom. And with that, it is to be continued. So, with that said, I have earned 500 picarats, which gives me a total of 1,400 picarats. And I do want to save. After all, I completed Chapter 2. So all things Chapter 2 go into completed. So, with that, we're done. And in the next part, we are going to deal with Chapter 3, The Great Witch. Before I actually start on the next part, I'm actually looking at how many puzzles I'm going to be dealing with. Because in the next part, we'll be heading back into the saddle as Professor Layton and Luke. So, I'm actually going to stop right here, and in the next part, we enter Chapter 3 proper. So stay tuned, more of Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton, or Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, right after this. See you in the next part.